So I don't usually record separate introductions for my podcast, but this episode was a bit special and different. I actually did not know Sebastian before our conversation. I came across him on LinkedIn. Saw that he was active there, and of course he won the Community MVP award at the Webflow Conf. What followed turned out to be really honest and super cool conversation. Sebastian came across as a sincere, humble, very hardworking Webflow developer who has overcome some major challenges during his journey. The episode even got a bit emotional towards the end. He was prepared to spend an hour with me. We ended up spending 2 hours together. We chatted after the recording for a while. He gave me some good tips for my content creation. And I gotta say I was very inspired, very pumped. So much so that I found it hard to fall asleep several hours after the episode. But hopefully you get a lot out of this one too. But without any further ado, here is Sebastian. Okay, Sebastian. So you won the Community MVP Webflow Award. So firstly, congrats for that. Did you know that it was coming, and what does a recognition like that mean to you?
My man, first thanks. And well, I want to be clear because I nominated myself. I was very, very try hard, if we say. I wanted that award for sure. I was pursuing that for a couple years. I didn't nominate it last year. I wasn't feeling sure enough. But this time I said, I just need to do it. And it's my year, I just say like that. And somehow my community helped a lot. I asked them please vote, please do your work. And we won together. So this award is not like being the best developer. It's more like building a meaningful community that really got your back.
Yeah, totally. It is like that. Oftentimes with the awards, you kind of have to pursue them intentionally. But I gotta ask, did you have a big celebration with your community after the award?
And I did more like a private celebration with my very close ones because they are the ones that, brother, we are here for many years, and maybe these people that we met 4 years ago or 3 years ago or maybe 2 years ago, they are from the beginning, and I really have a big heart for them, and I really appreciate a lot. And the support that I have been receiving so far is more than amazing. And my man, I'm just happy about this. It's like living my dream,
Yeah, totally. There are always the ones that are there from the beginning, and it's so fascinating and great to see when you get to some point and there are people who have rooted you from the start. But okay, we're already getting into all sorts of topics. We have to do little intros. So my name is Janne Parri. I'm a Webflow partner all the way from Finland, and my guest today is Sebastian Bimbi. Sebastian, you are heavily involved with Webflow, so you are a global community leader. You are in the ACE program. You won the mentioned MVP award, and you of course have your own studio, Bimbi Digital, and you run the NoCode.lat community. But I found you from LinkedIn, where you are very active. So I'm curious, what is the timeline with all of this? Did you first start your company and then started posting, or were you active on social before that? And when did the community part come into the picture?
Okay. First, thanks for having me. It's a total pleasure and an honor to be here. Related to my journey, I started with the traditional path, if we say. I become from a college, I studied computer engineer, and then I just try like go to the market and find any work. I didn't got anything. So I remembered about LinkedIn. My friends told me about it, and I was like, do I really go there and try? Or maybe I just skip, or I was skeptical, like I didn't thought about LinkedIn was something meaningful, if we say. And at that time, I had like I didn't even had a profile picture in my LinkedIn. That says all.
Yeah.
So I think it was maybe 2022, and after I was like finishing the college and trying couple works but not related to my career, like something more as maybe in the kitchen or in restaurants, things like that, and I only thought, Bimbi, are you doing this forever, or will you do your thing? Like, you studied a lot of years, your parents like invested a lot of money for your career. Like, are you just throwing everything just for making cash and just surviving? And I was like, okay, what I do then? Because I was very ashamed of being online, and I don't know, like my friends used to mock about me, and well, not friends, if we say, but other people, that haters, if we say.
Yeah.
So I was very scared about starting my journey digitally, but I knew that I didn't wanted to dance on TikTok, neither doing random posts on Instagram. So I said, what else I can do that is something decent, that I might get work? So I said, okay, maybe LinkedIn, no one knows about it. Maybe no one will find about me. Maybe no one even figure out that I'm there, but I will just try. So after 2022, that I was still learning Webflow, I took the decision to start posting on the LinkedIn, starting in January. And since then, now we are over 1,000 posts, if we say.
Yeah, that's a
And
lot.
since then, what I can tell you, I learned a lot. I think I refined my tone. I refined how I was approaching other people. And I think the most important, I was understanding kind of the game, if we say. So my approach there was a little bit simple. I start uh, collecting more about like content instead of creating it. But I was thinking more on having a conversation with someone, picking just an idea from the whole session, and then it turned into my post. So it was easier to get ideas to post on the LinkedIn. And at that point, I mean, when you post like daily, posting, you run out of ideas very quick, very
Yeah.
quick. And also when you're starting, you might take like maybe couple hours to create a decent post, and after all of that, you hit publish and you wait for maybe someone to engage. But then 1 hour later, you find out that you have like 2 likes, 0 comments, and that's it. And your heart is like, dude, I'm broken.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah, likewise me. I have been posting maybe more than a year without getting many likes, if we say. Maybe 5 likes or 10 likes at the best. Maybe now the minimum is like 50 or something, but I am still grateful with the whole journey. I think I learned a lot by sharing my experience, sharing what I was learning, my failures, and I was not very sure about the LinkedIn journey back then. I remember myself like fighting a lot, even with me, like saying like, what do I post? What do I will say? People will like me, people will hate me. What's what's going on for the future? Will get work? I had so many questions to get answer, but now maybe the Bimbi of the future can say, Bimbi, you did a great job, and finally you are getting recognition somehow. People are getting notice about you. And brother, like for me, appearing on Google was like,
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, first of all, the LinkedIn can feel very, very weird when you first started out. But as you said, at first it's quite hard. It takes a long time to create a good post, and your approach with the like collecting rather than creating is good. It's kind of what Gary Vaynerchuk always says, like document, don't create, or something like that. So the idea is that you kind of try to lower the bar, and so you get like more volume out, more of those posts out. But I'm curious, what's your system like right now? How do you like create your content? I know that you are also a Notion ambassador, so do you have a Notion board for that? But yeah, what's your system?
brother, I try a lot of things during the way, and what worked for me was using a little bit of Cloud and Notion. So I can structure my content calendar on the Notion, and I can validate my ideas with Cloud. So in the whole workflow, if we say, I come to the chair, maybe start scrolling a little bit, read what's going on the day, what other people are talking, and then maybe something interesting pop up to mind, and maybe I read something that I like. Maybe I I saw something, maybe a picture or a meme. Even a meme is good, you know.
Yeah.
And then I just pick the topic and try to elaborate, like checking the whole the whole scene about the topic, and then try to approach by my own side, like what do I think about it, and maybe did I had a similar case of a study, maybe my community will resonate to this topic, and if everything match, I say like, okay, let's do this, start writing a little bit, maybe also get some help from LLMs to compose the post, and then I refine by myself, change the things, change maybe order, make it look beautiful. That's the most important on the LinkedIn. Formatting the text is super important. If you can catch the eyes from the beginning, you might get that viewer to read your whole post. The hook is very important. It should be one liner, and you might need to also know that it's the hook one liner, and you can put a space and then another line, and then it should be the more button. So you can play with that. You can maybe put a one sentence that's a little bit large, might work, but you need to get a hook that it's interesting and by maybe a little bit catchy. So you invite the user to read your post. That's the most important. Invite the viewer to read. Like, get that hook. That's super
Yeah.
important. After
Yeah,
you understand that, Sorry to interrupt, but I will try to explain the whole LinkedIn game real quick so that people can really start and do something with this. The first thing that you need to do is to understand who you are going to talk. After you find your ICP, you always talk to them. So every post that you do must be intentional. You should be talking to the person who you want to become your client. So, in my case, what I was chasing or what I was trying so far were evolving, because at the start I might be someone who were not as recognized as now, and maybe kind of ghost developer, if we say. And I don't know, I was just trying a little bit, but I started my own companies after doing LinkedIn, because it pop ups to my mind, okay, how I can bring more authority to my LinkedIn game. So I said, this is something that might surprise, but my first work was my own company hiring me.
Yeah.
So after I tried couple freelance projects and then showcased at least 3 good projects to these new people that I was trying to be my clients. And by that, I started getting new people, because at least a company already trusted on me. But what they didn't knew was that that company were mine.
Yeah, yeah. And that's beautiful, and yeah, it's a funny way that like structure or do your company for the LinkedIn and for the first client. But that's a great way to start. But yeah, a little LinkedIn detail or tactic I gotta ask you about. I noticed that you sometimes repost your own posts. So does that work? Do you get more views out of that? What's the idea?
Okay, I think I read it somewhere, but they said about reposting your own post after 4 hours, so more people can learn about it. Might be a myth, might be working. We don't really know, but I still try, because why not? We don't lose anything. It's our
Yeah,
profile.
yeah, yeah, totally. And I have to try that out too. Firstly, I'll have to check my hooks and think about the persona or who I am like writing for, and maybe after then I can try the little stuff. But okay, we are talking about social media. We have to talk about your Webflow work. So I know that you call yourself a strategic Webflow partner. Of course, there's terms like freelancer and whatever else like terms. But what do you mean by strategic Webflow partner, and how does it differ from a regular Webflow developer?
To be honest, I try to focus on enterprise level that have a certain kind of problems that I'm expert at, so I can specific help them to solve this quickly. So not always are crazy tasks or impossible problems. Most of the times are super easy things like changing images, changing text, creating new landing pages, etc. But what is most important is to understand the business part, like what they are needing. If they are investing maybe on ads in Google, for example, and they are paying $10,000 on the month for those ads, and they maybe, I don't know, like checking the speed, and they found that they are taking more than 3 seconds, 4 seconds, the bounce rate go very high. They say like, are we really good for investing this huge amount for the ads, or we rather spend on invest, on building a good site and having great performance, so you can get a quick load time, like under 2 seconds. You might get a better ROI, if we say, because from, I don't know, like from 100 clicks, maybe back then, before like updating, they got like 30 user in, but after they get like 60. So that's like twice. Maybe for us might not sound very big, but for a company that it's paying $500 for each click into their site might resonate a lot. So
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
each click, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we need to take care about it. Each second matter a lot, at least on this level. And when you can solve these kind of problems that are a pain for the company, I guess is where you start becoming a more specific or a strategic growth partner for them, because you can quickly solve just your Webflow thing, but understanding the business side.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And that is beautiful. You can like be the one who just changes the pictures, or you can be the partner who knows how the sites can perform better. And as you said, like small changes might bring quite big results, especially if the company is like big. If it like, let's say just 1 million, if you have a company that's revenue is 1 million and you somehow increase the revenue by 1%, that's like 10,000 already. My math might be right, but it's still a quite quite big sum.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of money from, like, when you are making volumes, even 0.5%, it's a lot and might be the difference. So when we are in the enterprise level, we need to take care of every detail and we need to be very minutious and try to be like X-ray eyes, if we say.
Yeah, yeah,
Because we need to find everything, every detail. We need to do the best work possible. We are not just doing a Webflow project, we are doing a long-term partnership. If they grow, you or the growth partner will do more money.
yeah, obviously.
So you that way, I think you also put the t-shirt of the company and you also want them to grow, because if they grow, you grow.
Yeah, and that's the most like most
Beauty.
beautiful type of
Yeah.
partnership, and it's a win-win situation. But I have to ask about the tools. Have you tried, or do you use like the Webflow Analyze and Optimize, because those are the tools for A/B testing and optimization?
Yeah, we use it, any kind of Webflow tools overall. The most recent were the Webflow Cloud and also the collaboration, but now I think they released to the public. So at that point that we were on the beta, for us were like amazing things, and it helped a lot during that time. And still now it's helping a lot. I can say that the more that we use Webflow, the more we can just focus on just one tool, because nowadays they are evolving into a bigger picture. Even now that they just released the AOE, I think that's the name, about AI.
Yeah,
And now you can even generate schemas and you can generate a lot of things from the AI. So I think it will be a bright future.
Yeah, it is. It is fascinating, and I have talked a lot about Webflow's future in this podcast. And Webflow is like growing and evolving, and there are like multiple different like features, and people are like specializing to one like Webflow feature, for example, localization or let's say animations or interactions and so on. So that is cool to see. And of course, there's all the upcoming AI features. I'm not sure what I think of those. I'm excited about the schema thing you mentioned and the alt text generation. But there is a lot of these developer features. You mentioned the Webflow Cloud, I believe. So what do you think Webflow is like wanting to do with those? And do you feel that it might even complicate the whole Webflow bubble, if you may?
I think Webflow is about to become a developer platform. And finally, that, because back then we were more like a design thing. And nowadays we can go more deeply into the development side. So I'm truly happy. I've seen the whole evolve, if we say, from I remember this Webflow designer that it's very old gray and
Yeah.
very box thing. My man, I wow, like it just pop up like those images in my head and priceless, because I remember maybe learning from Flux Academy or Timothy Riggs, and I was like very young. I remember those were like very good memories for me, I think. But the future now, after seeing those years ahead, I can say that Webflow is really investing on the company and try to make a beautiful future for the whole community. They are investing on contest, they are investing on hiring new people, they are like really pushing on the side. Maybe, as you said, the Webflow bubble might increase a little bit more with more tools and more skills that the whole developer community need to include to their stack. But I think they are not complicating my work, they are boosting it. Might not be for beginners, but that's the point where we separate from beginners to strategic partners, because like we are in this game for so long, we know about every kind of Webflow problem that can exist. So adding a new thing, it's just like going to the school and learning a new topic.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think the same. Of course, in the past, Webflow was a bit more beginner friendly. Nowadays, it's quite complex, and I'm glad that I started learning Webflow way back when it was simpler. If I had to start right now, it would be a big task. And yeah, of course, when Webflow is growing, the clients are growing. Like many of us are like finding bigger clients, and as you said, you are focusing on enterprise clients. I believe that it would be hard to do that with, let's say, easier, smaller platforms like Squarespace or even Framer. Webflow is a really serious tool, especially geared towards like enterprise clients. But you also mentioned the community, that Webflow is investing in community, and I feel the same way. But I know that you have a unique point of view because you founded the NoCode.lat or LAT, however you wanna call it. I'm curious, how did it start and where is it at right now, and what's the future for NoCode.lat?
Sure. I started this project before I was new in what I was about to do. I I started even before the no, not before, maybe after posting, I think. Because when I tried to apply for jobs and get rejected so much, I did this, like opening NoCode.lat to be the company that I would be the Webflow expert at. So other people started thinking that I might be good at Webflow and they can trust on me, you know? I was very young at the time. I didn't knew that it was going to be something. It began in my early days at as a maybe just as a random idea, but nowadays it's the community that helped my whole journey and what really changed my life, if we say. But it started just from a good heart idea that I wanted to share my perspective with other people and wanted to also help for free. I think there are many people that might not have the same opportunities and might be harder for them to maybe jump into a no code or into a code journey, because it's not easy, to be honest. I mean, it took me a while to understand, maybe couple years to understand Webflow in a proper way to can start working with clients. So I think for the people who are hearing this and are on this journey starting and thinking, will Webflow be my thing? 100% will be your thing, brother. Like just trust the process and learn about the tool. Be the top 1% in the tool and try hard. Like try to be the best around, and that's it. That's what I tell to my mentees in the community. I just try to share that they need to start at some point, because no one is going to come and say like, hey baby, come to work. Like, no one will say that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But the starting is the hard part. But of course, after you start, you have to like continue. You will not become a Webflow pro in a day. Well, maybe not even a year.
No, 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 no. For me, it took me at least 2 years of daily, maybe 4 to 6 hours a day practicing. After that, I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm sure that I can do good work, and somehow it worked now. But back then, I was chasing maybe $100 website and I was super happy about it, and maybe now I can do $100 in an hour, you know.
Yeah, yeah. We all have to start from there. And I know that many people who do content say that never work for free, but like most of us have done something for free, at least their mom's website or something like that. We all have that past with us. But I'm curious. Of course, getting the first client is a challenge that everyone has. But in the NoCode.lat, if I understand correctly, there's like mostly Latin American developers. So are there like any specific challenges for that group?
Definitely there are more hard part, if we say, because we don't really have much content on Spanish and most of the things are in English. So that's a kind of big barrier for us in Latam. So when when I was learning Webflow, I remember that literally no one were talking in Spanish about it, and I said, "Why? Maybe I don't just do something and try a little bit, maybe kind of be like an evangelist and get the word to the people and say like, hey, this is Webflow, learn with me." And it resonates with them, and I just try to help, because I don't really get paid to mentor or to help the people in the community. I just do for free for myself and to keep learning what is the trend and what is going on with other people, what kind of problems they have. And it's more like an exchange. I don't really need to always be collecting money. I can also be collecting journeys and maybe tips or secrets. Anything is good.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And I believe that when you give generously, like you contribute to the community, of course, it might be hard work, but at some point it will come back to you.
100%. Because back then I give everything to my community, and after a couple years they helped me to won the community MVP award. So this is both sides helping. I'm more than grateful with them, and I just think that it's a beautiful relationship that we built together. So we are both happy.
Yeah. I gotta ask a little specific question about NoCode.lat. Like, what kind of platform do you have? Do you have a Slack group or some sort of other platform? And do you ever meet like in person in real life?
We have a Discord group for the whole community, but that's the global community. And then I also have like a private site on Slack for my more related people, if we say, like maybe people or developers, designers, freelancers, contractors that I can rely on. So whenever I have a certain topic or task that they can handle, I just post on the group and like on the general channel and say like, hey guys, who's ready to take this? Raise the hands, and the
Yeah,
first one get it, I guess. Or maybe the first one who might match the task. So we just try to make it a little bit fun and make a little bit familiar, if we say, related to in-person groups. Recently, we started a little bit more, but with Notion, doing in real life events. So I also did the jump into speaking at events, and maybe now I did already like 5 events, I guess.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, I I was very scared because I'm very introvert person. I don't really like to be with many folks around. At least not in person. I can chat a lot in my computer, but I am a very lonely guy. I don't have a lot of friends. I'm very private, if we say, and I just try to keep my things like that. But when we go to these kind of events, it's like, hey, maybe can you take a picture with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's like another feeling, maybe like a rock star thing. I didn't want it to be like this, but I just try to keep inspiring other people, try to be the one who they can follow, and I just keep trying to do good things and keep rising my skills. I'm not the best developer around. I'm just someone who were consistent over the time, and after years got recognized somehow. But that's it. I'm not super genius. I'm not like an alien or you know, I'm just a folk from Peru, very small country that have very large amount of monthly payments. Maybe in here, like the minimum wage is like maybe $300 or $400 a month for a full time work. brother, nowadays I can do that in one day or something like that, you know. I
Yeah.
think like, dude, how it changed that much? Because but years ago I was really charging like $10 an hour or $5 an hour. And then when I started LinkedIn, it skyrocketed.
Yeah. But as you said, there was the initial period when no one liked the posts, and you had to work hard and believe that
I believe a
something
lot
better
of
is coming.
myself that much that I created my own company to believe in me, because I were my first believer, man. I was my first fan. I believed in myself that much that I said, dude, just do it, do it, because you have only one life. You have no more chances. Is there or never?
Yeah. And on top of that, yeah, you have one life, but also with the internet and everything, everything is right at your fingertips. You can read about everything. The knowledge is out there. You just have to use it. Of course, there's a lot of it, and it might be overwhelming, and it's too much possibilities, and it might passivate one. But it is all there. But okay, if there is someone like struggling with their social media or Webflow or learning new stuff, what would you say to them? Like, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Maybe try to be more specific so I can give a better answer. Like, in which step? Like when they are starting.
Maybe when they are starting and they are doubting that will this ever work out? Will I ever get a good client, or am I stuck with the $100 websites and so on?
Okay, this might be a tricky question because, as you said, some folks they tell that you don't need to give your work, but brother, like, be yourself, be you, be human. That's the most important thing around the internet. Being human, connecting with the people, that's meaningful. And when you understand that, how do I say, like, nowadays we think about our network, maybe we think about our net worth too, but in these years I think they are equal, or they are matched somehow, or tied,
Yeah.
because the more people that knows you, the more money that you can generate for yourself. So when I click with that, I thought, okay, if 1 million of person knew me, maybe they can give me $1 each one, and I can be millionaire, right?
Yeah.
So that was my starting idea, how to become millionaire somehow, because I'm on the way. I'm not yet, but I want to be there sometime soon, I hope. But
Yeah.
first, I think we need to create the systems to become that, and you also need to build your person to become that human that can hold $1 million. If you can like value yourself, I always think like you can give your own value to the market, and no one else can tell you what you are worth. At the beginning, I thought that because I was from Latam, I could not get a good hourly rate, but I was very grown because my hourly rate ladder were like this. I started free doing my projects, trying, testing, like
Yeah.
just my start, like nothing fancy, dummy projects, trying here and there, trying to help other people, but zero income. Then I said, okay, maybe I can get $5 an hour. In my country, that's like a good amount. Maybe I can work a little bit, I can stay safe. Okay. But I say to myself, 5. And I was good with that. Then I started rising the prices maybe to 10, 15, 20, 25, and more. But when I join an agency, that's where I raised my prices. But how I get into agency life is because of the LinkedIn, because I were posting daily. I were like saying, hey, I'm here to help, I'm your guy, I'm your Webflow guy, hello, every day, every day, saying the same, hello, pick me, I'm the best Webflow around, try me, try. And somehow I got the DMs from an agency in the US, and they wanted to work remote. So I say like, yes, this is my best opportunity. I started as a contractor with them. We worked for maybe 8 months or almost a year. I learned a lot. They gave me my first big project. I was amazed. It was a very good journey, but at some point I got replaced. And I
Yeah.
said, dude, what? I thought that it was going for years. I was saying like maybe getting $30 an hour back then. I was like maybe thinking I was the best. But then when I got fired, I was like, dude, and now what is next? And then again to the loop, finding work, freelancing, try to go to agencies, blah 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 blah. At that point, I was not very active on the LinkedIn because I was feeling stable on this agency because they were paying me good. I was comfortable, and I kind of forgot about the LinkedIn. And then when it hits the fire, I I say like, okay, but what I do next? And I came back to the LinkedIn and came back to posting again, posting, and until something happened that was a DM that they told me, hey, do you want to create an sponsor post for us? And I was like, dude, can I make money from writing? And I was like, yes, sure. At that point, it was Wiglot that they contact me. They were the
Yeah,
first
cool.
one, the first partner that took the chance to me. And I'm eternally grateful to them, and especially with Walter. He's the best. And after that, we did the sponsor post. It went great. The people loved it. It started getting more people to my profile. And maybe like the next month, I got another DM like from Webflow. Hey, do you want to collaborate? And I was like, what? Brother,
That's
I
beautiful.
started crying. I remember this guy named Pat. I also have a good feel of that time because he were like also the first one inside Webflow who trusted on me. And nowadays he don't work anymore at Webflow, but I still have a good connection with him. I think the most important is to build the relationships, because even over the time, maybe they can jump into other companies, but you're still friends. You can still connect and you can still collaborate at some point. So that's the most important and the most beautiful thing. After I started collaborating with Webflow, we did our first official post. They tagged me from their company page on the LinkedIn, and I received that notification. I was like, dude, this is no fucking real. And I was like, what? How? How me, like a random guy from Latam, maybe a ghost developer around there, like no one give a care about him, we're in the front page of the company page. And I was like, dude, what? I was so excited. I started crying a lot. I remember I told my girl, babe, finally we did it. I don't know, man. it, I get very emotional, to be honest.
Yeah, that is a beautiful journey and beautiful story, and it just goes to say that you have to work and you do not know what's ahead of you. Those are beautiful moments that one cannot like predict. And I'm of course like thinking that what the future holds for you. What will be the next surprising DM in your inbox, which again blows your mind. And as you said, we are all kind of in this journey. Of course, we have goals. You want to reach the $1 million, and it's the thing that we have to go through many steps, and we cannot like jump to the end, and it makes the starting quite hard because you see all the people who are already performing like on a high level, but every one of them have done the work, have like spent years of doing that.
It takes a lot of years, to be
Remember?
honest. And
Yeah.
what I can tell you, man, is when you become from zero, it feels better to get succeed. And
Yeah,
for me, brother,
for sure.
I literally come from -1, if we say. Literally, I started with no money, just a big dream, and man, now we are here.
Yeah, that your story is so inspiring, and I'm like pumped about your future and all the things you already have. But yeah,
Brother, the future is bright. I can know what is becoming for me or for my people. What I know is that every day I'm trying to rise my skills. I try to learn something new. I try to learn how to make more money somehow and get better clients. My man, we
yeah,
have our time very limited and we cannot trade any more time for money. We need to do something more meaningful. I mean, I'm here to change lives, to change other people minds and to inspire them. Like I try to become the person who I wish I had when I started my career.
yeah. That is so beautiful, and that goes to say that you are really helping. I believe everyone should aim for a meaning like that, and helping others. Yeah, I'm like speechless.
For me, that's what fills my heart. And I think the most I can share, the most my heart feels better.
Yeah, yeah. And usually that also works. At the start we talked about that when you give to the community you end up getting something back. So I totally believe that works. It is in a way like this karma situation. When you do good, you get good and so on.
You know what's the most beautiful? Just the best thing that I can see in my career is to see the people who I mentored 2 years ago, and now they having good clients and they chasing better life. Like I know that it's hard because I also become from that. I I was in the trenches so long.
Yeah, it must have been hard, and you are like the best person to help those people.
Yeah, just give me a second, brother.
No problem.
Yeah, it's hard, my man. It's hard. I am very emotional guy, and I just have a lot of feelings for my people because I remember like all days when we were talking about the future, and now we are in the future already, and it's like Just
Yeah, and it's beautiful future. Yeah. Oh man, this is so beautiful.
my God.
I'll have to let you go and do your thing and so on. But are there like last things you wanna say to the audience?
I just want to say that you don't really need a traditional path. I didn't go to a very fancy school, neither a fancy college. I built everything from zero, without money, without anything. I just had a big dream and a good a good goal, if we say. I had a good discipline. I need to thank everyone who were in my journey, just rising me and helping every day. They really means all to me. And the communities show their feelings to me, and they it really helped me to become what I'm now. Whether you are building a business or a community or a career, you need to know that consistency and disciplines beats everything. I probably did post for more than 1000 days overall, and we might set for another 1000 more posts. I don't know, brother. I just want to say that everyday action compounds into a opportunity that you cannot imagine today. And don't do it alone. Try with your friends, ask for help, lift other people. The awards, the clients, the success, it all comes when you focus on serving other people. And that's what worked for me. That's what I'm trying to build for my future. And I just want to say that Webflow really changed my life.
Yeah, yeah. That is so beautiful. I cannot add anything to that. But if people wanna hear more from you or maybe contact you, where should they go? Obviously into LinkedIn, but are there any other places?
My man, nowadays they can find me either on that TikTok or LinkedIn or my personal page, which is bimbi.co, or maybe they can go to NoCode.lat, they can go to Bimbi Digital. We have a lot of pages now. We try to be everywhere and try to like be more active online, if we say. We just try our best. We did a very good rebranding recently of my personal brand, and I like it a lot. I want to thank Hasnain for that. And my brother, just let the people who is hearing this and watching this to start. Please start. Please start. Please start. I won't say it anymore, but do it today because no one is come to save you. That's it, brother.
Yeah, that is it. Just start.